Good morning, everyone, and what a beautiful morning it is. I'm back out here in Minnesota today, and I figured I'd come try a new lake this morning. Now, I found this lake pretty much the same way I find most of these lakes I fish. First of all, I'll go into Google Maps, scope out some interesting looking water, and from there I'll look up the lake on the Minnesota DNR's Lake Finder website. And there you can check the test net results and see what kinds of fish the lake holds and the size structure you might find there. On this lake, I found it holds a good number of both largemouth and smallmouth bass. So I figured it'd be a good one to come try out. It's late September, so the bass should be hitting topwater. And so I figured I'd start out with the spook this morning. I've got my Super Spook Junior tied on. We'll toss that and see what we can catch. I really can't ask for a much nicer morning than this to be out fishing in a kayak. So this lake is kind of a Pac-Man shaped lake, and by that I mean it's somewhat roundish with one point that sticks out into the middle of it. So I pretty much paddled my way across to that point. The point is actually right up ahead of me, so I figured I'd work my way over there in that direction. There we go. Ooh, first one of the morning. Let's see what we got here. Largie or smallie? Just hanging out right off the point there. Nice little largie. Heck, I will take that to start the morning. Come here, you. Sweet. On the spook. Gotta love that. It feels so weird. It's a chilly morning out here. This fish actually feels warm. Well, heck yeah, that's a good way to start the morning. There we go. Oh my gosh. Oh, nice. Yep, that looks like a smallie. This water out here is super clear. Oh, this guy's barely hooked. Scoop him into my net there. Wow. Look at that. Beautiful smallmouth. Jeez, he slammed that spook too. That was awesome. Well, that's a pretty good way to start the morning. I'm still Just working around this point, I found a nice little weed bed over here, so I've been throwing the spook around the edges of that weed bed. And so far we've got one largie and one smallie. Give you guys a closer look at that lure. I've got the Super Spook Junior. I'm throwing the saltwater redhead color here, and I do swap out the hooks on these with some red mustads. I've got a triple grip on the front there, and then a feathered mustad treble on the back. And I'm throwing that on my 6'8" medium power fast action St. Croix Legend Tournament rod with a Quantum Smoke reel and 12-pound Trilene Sensation. I'll go a little bit heavier sometimes when I'm throwing the spook, but there's honestly not a whole lot of vegetation or anything in this lake that they're gonna dive down into and get tangled in, so I think that 12-pound line will be plenty out here today. Alright, I think I'm going to try a wacky worm. So I've got my watermelon gold flake yum dinger with a 1/0 Gamakatsu EWG hook. I just floated over this point here, and I was in about 12 feet of water, and I looked down and I saw a bunch of rocks and a nice big smallmouth swimming along the bottom. It was just right off of the drop off, because this point extends out a little ways, and then it goes from about 6 feet to 12 feet pretty quick. There's definitely one down there. There we go. There's something on the wacky worm. Oh, nice. It's a smallie. Oh, it has been kind of a slow morning out here. It's been a couple hours since I got that one on the spook. I actually worked my way around the shoreline on the other half of the lake over here. I figured I'd come back over here to this point. I've been seeing a bunch of bass swimming around. Been a little bit picky though. But I tied on that watermelon gold flake yum dinger. Threw it out there, and this one came and grabbed it. Wow, that's a beautiful smallmouth right there. Jeez. Nice, healthy looking fish. It's been a little bit slow out here, but we're finding a few. Yeah, not too bad for fishing a lake I've never fished before. One thing I did notice out here too is that the water is super, super clear. I can see the bottom in about 14 feet. So I'm guessing these fish are probably a little bit spooky on a day like today when that sun is shining bright. But if all else fails, throw on that wacky worm. That's what I always say. There we go. There's another one on the wacky worm. Come on over here, you. I wonder if that's the one that I just saw swimming by me. I've been seeing a few of them kind of hanging out in this general area, but they've been tough getting them to bite this morning. Wow, what a pretty fish. There's another one on that yum dinger. Beautiful smallmouth. Off you go. Well, I think I'm going to call it quits on that one. It's been pretty slow going out here this morning. It's been about an hour since I caught the one before that, with no action between the two, so it's been a tough bite. I've been seeing a lot of them swimming around in here, but they just don't really seem all that interested in biting. So I'm gonna head back to the launch, go grab something to eat, and I don't know, maybe I'll finish off the day on a different lake. But it's been fun though. For being the first time I've ever fished this lake, I'm pretty happy with how we did. The bite was tough, but we found a few willing to come up and say hello. We didn't get skunked, that's the important part. And we found bass of both a largemouth and smallmouth variety. All three of those smallies were really quality fish too. So it's been a good morning out here on the water. It really is a pretty lake. And that morning paddle through the fog, that's the kind of stuff that kayak fishing dreams are made of, so I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Thanks for coming along with me again. I'll see you next time.